Always fun to catch up with our good friend Jimmy Rutherford from the Vancouver Canucks, who's getting ready for this season. You're a little more than a week out. What's occupying your mind right now as you tune up for the season?
Well, we're getting into the most important time of training camp where decisions have to be made. And the good news is we really have some good young players knocking on the door to make this team. Our amateur scouting staff's done a good job under Todd Harvey. Our development staff's done a good job in preparing these guys, and I'm really excited about our young players. But at the same time, people don't look to the future; they look to the present, and so we're a little bit caught in between here, and we're going to have some tough decisions to make.
So, of your roster, your 23-man roster, Jim, how many positions would have been in place before camp started?
Well, that's always hard to say. I mean, even players that have long-term commitments, if they're not ready to play, we have to take a look at those guys, whether they can help our team. But certainly, if you look at it, how many realistic spots were open, I think you could look at least three up in the forwards and two or three on defense. So that's why we've had such a competitive camp.
How did you approach it when you had your both hands on the steering wheel? I know you work with Patrick now. When you were caught in between, did you let the younger kids have more runway, or were you more hesitant towards that and go with veteran players?
I've never had a situation like what we're dealing with now. I'm going to say the obvious, something that everybody talks about, and rightfully so. Our best players 2 years away from free agency, and it's important for us to do everything we can to make the Vancouver Canucks as appealing as possible for Quinn Hughes. And so we know that these young guys are going to be good NHL players. Are they ready to play 82 games? Are they ready to help us get into the playoffs? That's something we'll see as we go along here. Nobody has that answer today until we get into the season. But at the same time, the coaches usually like to go with veteran players, and we know that there's one area on our team that we would like to make stronger, even though we like our center ice position, and Patterson has done what he needed to do this summer. He had a really good off season, physically and mentally, and he's come into camp and he's been really good. And then as we go down the line, we believe in Hedl. He's a good player. He could be our second line center as long as he stays healthy and all those good things. And then Ratu and Bluger can fill out our center ice position. But at the same time, if we could add another center to give more depth there, we'd feel much more comfortable about our team.
How you mentioned Quinn. How do you, when you talk about managing that, making it attractive, how do you do that when you can't really do anything with it until next summer, Jimmy?
Well, no, his decision's not going to come until next off season. But at the same time, we're like all teams. We want to have the best team we can. We want to be a playoff team. We want to contend. We do think our team's improved. We like our coaching staff. We like the direction they're taking the team. We're coming out of having a very good camp, and I believe that the players are well prepared. The question is, do we have enough players to compete and to contend? And so that's something that all players look at. You look at other players that are talking about signing extensions and staying with their teams. And it's important for any player to know that the organization's going in the right direction. And that's what we have to deal with.
Could the decision on Quinn come this year, though, ahead of time, before you get kind of backed into any type of corner going into next summer?
It doesn't have to. Really, we're a long ways away from it. I mean, we could run that decision out until the trade deadline, not this trade deadline, but the year after, and still get a great return on him. So, but that's not what we're looking for. That's not what our goal is. Our goal is to have Quinn Hughes be a Vancouver Canuck for a long time.
You don't shy away from this conversation. Why do you take it so head on?
Well, I usually do. It doesn't matter what situations they are. And sometimes I get in trouble for being too honest, but I don't think there's any reason to shy away from it. Everybody's going to talk about it, rightfully so. It's a huge story. It's a huge story for the Canucks and for their future. And I think as much as I can say about it is important. Whether people want to agree with me or not, that's the way things work. But I'm just giving my honest opinion of Quinn Hughes and where he goes forward.
So is that? I mean, short of driving him to and from the arena, do you and Patrick then have just constant discussions with Pat Brisson or Quinn, or how do you manage it rather than an interview situation like this? How do you manage it on a day-to-day basis as the season goes on?
Well, we don't have anything to talk to them about at this point. We can't extend his contract till July 1st. Our focus and Quinn's focus and the coach's focus is on winning hockey games, and that's where it should be for this season. But at the same time, people are going to talk about this, and it's important that Quinn, stays focused to the task at hand. And when the appropriate time comes, then we'll deal with it. But at the same time, there's going to be people like yourselves and other media people and fans that are going to be curious as to what the organization feels and what they think. And I do the best I can to give as much as I can.
Where do you fit in the Western Conference right now?
I don't think anybody knows. We haven't played any games. I think that's why we play the games.
So do you have an idea of, because you talked about being stuck in the middle and where your team is competitive wise, you must have somewhat of a gauge on where you might fit in as it relates to being competitive and helping the Quinn Hughes situation?
Well, I don't know exactly where we fit. I feel that we're a very competitive team. I like what the coach has done, what Adam Foote's done to prepare this team, the system he's put in place. He simplified our system for our players. They bought into it. And, we have strong goaltending. We have strong defense. We have forwards that are capable of having good years. So I really don't know. I do feel strong that we have a good enough team to compete for a playoff spot. And once you get there with the kind of goaltending we have, anything can happen in the playoffs.
I knew we'd get there with that. I knew we'd eventually get an answer there.
Yeah, but I like Jimmy's first answer. That was good. That was him just giving you what for. I like that, One of the guys that has raised eyebrows in your camp is your first round pick, Braden Coates. Is he going back? Are you going to give him 9 games? What's your thought process now, Jimmy?
We're getting into the meetings here for the next 3 days. The coach, Adam and his staff will take a look at that and tell Patrick how he feels about where he fits into our team. And then the organization will have to make a decision. Is this the best thing for him now and for his future? We don't want to lose any development there. We know we have a very good player. We knew it when we drafted him. His camp certainly shows that he's ahead of the curve, and he may very well be capable of helping this team. But that's going to be a tough decision this week.